Hi guys, it's Matt here. Thank you for joining me. Today we'll have a special update discussion on the most recent update that was just released on the 16th of March at 5:05 a.m. Let me go through some of the major things with you guys and we'll share some of the insights after trying the updates and after testing a few of the units. And firstly, the Queen players will now show their rank. So all the Queen player next to their name will show a number. Sometimes 1,000, sometimes 2,000, sometimes a few hundred. That's something nice, some slight adjustment. The AI will initiate battle within 1 second, except assassins, which will initiate in 2 seconds. What that means is now the assassins will take 1 second, wait for the enemies to move, then they jump. Now, this shouldn't be a big factor unless you're having a few units certainly in the backline to protect your backline squishies like Shadowfiend, like Venomancer, like Lone Druid. Lone Druid doesn't protect, like Furions. So this will be changing for the ways we position units. How do we protect our backline? Is we can go into the corner. Now we can put an assassin in the backline as a backline tank against other assassins. The biggest change is over here, the change of Hunter's combination. The Hunter class got a change. It used to be percentage damage, now it's flat damage. There's a big difference between flat damage and percentage damage because it scales differently. And also they had additional bonus to the damage now because they have pierce through evasion. What that means is they have a chance of ignoring evasion. So basically 3 hunters basically counters 3 elves. And 6 hunters counters 6 elves. So hunter just became the new favorite for everyone because elves are still very dominant. And having hunters means that you can counter the elf evasion. And elves without evasion, they're super squishy. So let's have a look. What does it mean by 30 base damage? 30 base damage is that my 1-star sniper that used to hit say 50, he hits for 75 by the way. He hits for 75, now he hits for 105 when you have 3 hunters. Now, why is this good and why is this not so good for 2-star units? Because previously, 1-star unit don't enjoy the percentage buff that much because their base damage is not high. At 2-star, they become relevant because their base damage just get doubled. The percentage buff is higher when they're 2-star, when they're 1-star. So it actually scales as you level units to 2-star from 1-star. But this one is flat. So with the very nice help from my friend Mockingjay with his calculations, you actually lose a few points of damage, not much. The highest being sniper with about 7 points of damage when you get to 2-star compared to previously. Now at 1-star, you do gain a lot more damage. And what does this mean is on top of having the evasion counter, this is a really good buff for the hunters. Yes, you do lose 5 or 3 or 7 damage when you get to 2-star compared to previously, but now you have a free MKB, free Monkey King bar that gives you counters to evasion. And I think everyone will trade off a few damage for counters. And not only that, the Hunter's early game just got buffed so much more, simply because the Hunter units now can stay at level 1 and be relevant with the attack damage. Because Hunters excels in focus fire. You're in a defensive corner, everyone jumps to you, the harder you hit, the more minus armor you have, the quicker you kill them, the quicker you win the round, or quicker you survive the round. Now let's look at this part, the concealment. Assassins, the Ricky assassin, he's changed again. Now that he changes, he basically hides the chessboard before the battle starts. We haven't tested this out perfectly because our opponents haven't used Ricky, or we haven't caught them using Ricky while we were playing the game, but we'll definitely be on the lookout. I think this is a great change. This allows more mind games to be played. And the visualized change, previously it's hard to tell mind units after they're invisible. Now with the new change, when Ricky is on your savings board, everyone gets a little blue eye on their head, and just shows maybe they're sneaking, maybe they're hiding. So no longer they are blurred up. So for you, they are not blurred up. That's a very nice visualized change. So over here, that's right, it's more visible to you. So the biggest loser for this particular update is Tinker. Not only did he lose his damage, but on top of that, he also lost the armor he enjoyed. Tinker used to be great as a goblin early game because he has 10 armor. He doesn't have the highest health, but the armor is very relevant. And looking over here, the damage nerf is also very relevant. At level 1, he has 200 damage, level 2 he has only 300 damage compared to 250 and 350. I do agree he was a bit overpowered after they fixed the damage with the missiles, but now he's back to where he probably should be as a 1-cost unit. Slug got a slight change. He used to deal physical damage, now he deals pure damage. What that means is basically Slug deals about 22% more damage because most units have 5 armor, and 5 armor reduce physical damage by 22%. So dealing pure damage and Slug dealing 22% more damage is nothing major. It's very minimal because it's single targeted and most people won't still use Slug. Slug it's nice, but it's not enough. The Death Prophet change, base magic resistance to 20% to 30%. I was not actually aware that Death Prophet had magic resistance because she had 0 armor. But having magic resistance is very nice in the late game because we know how many mages are there. And having 30%, it's so much better. So, I mean, this is a slight adjustment to Death Prophet. She's not incredibly strong now, but rather in the backline, she's got more chance of surviving against mages, which is great because most of her mana comes from receiving AoE damage in the backline as a level 1. A 1-star Death Prophet, and being able to tank up a little more means she can survive longer. Here is another relevant change. It's much needed, I feel, because Lone Druid just got a nerf. The Spirit Bear the Lone Druid summons now reduce armor with reduced armor. Used to be 10, used to be too tanky. The RNG with the rooting, 25% root is almost 100% for me sometimes. Against me, that is. And the Lone Druid is such a highly picked unit. I think what they should have done is they should have changed the 0% to 0 armor instead of 5 armor for the bear. But I mean, it's understandable. It is still a 4-cost unit and it's still a very nice purple unit. People are still going to use Lone Druid. I also found Lone Druid to be still very strong. The 5% change in armor basically translates to about 12 or 13% physical reduction decrease. So it's relevant, but it's not that big. The Windrunner got a little damage reduction, so it's nothing major, only 2, because Windrunner has the best attack speed in the game, being 0.9. Marana got a little slight attack increase. Notice how it's all about the hunters, and Sniper's got an attack speed increase. This can be relevant, so that means Sniper got almost 10% damage increase because he will attack 0.1 times faster. If he attack 10 times, so if within the 12 seconds, he will attack 12 times instead of 11 times. So, you know, it's relevant. It's very relevant for Sniper. Sand King got a Burrow Strike cooldown. That's very interesting. When we run Assassins, Sand King tend to be the front line. He would always do his first Burrow Strike when he's 2-star. But sometimes he dies before he makes his second Burrow Strike. Now with a cooldown reduction, it's likely he will do 2 Burrow Strike at 2-star. And even at 3-star, he might even do 3 or 4 Burrow Strikes. So I'm going to be very interested on Sand King. And he also runs well in a beast lineup as well. Lastly will be a change of English. So we don't need to worry about that. So let me show you guys something interesting. We made this to show you guys visualizing how the tuners are winning from this particular update. I think the top winners are Medusa and Tide. The second layer of winners are Sniper, Morana, Windrunner, and Sand King. And the slightly buffed units are Jorringer, Beastmaster, Riki, Slug, and Death Prophet. The slightly nerfed one is Lone Druid, but he's still very relevant. The medium buff, or consider the biggest buff over here, or the biggest nerf over here, is Tinker. Let me explain. We know why Tinker's here. We know most of those units, and because Hunter got a buff, each of the Hunters slightly goes up. All of those 3 units, they got a slightly adjustment. So the crucial units overlooking here is those 6. Why is Deuce and why is Tide up there? Because previously, and even now, it's very hard to find a 2-star Tide, very hard to find a 2-star Deuce. Being at level 1, the Hunter buff used to be not so relevant, but being at level 2, the Hunter buff is, being currently with update, the Hunter buff becomes more relevant because it's a base damage. It's indifferent if you're 1-star or 2-star. And knowing it's harder to find 2-star Tide and Deucer, they got the most buff from this patch with the Hunter synergy. The second one is a Sniper, Morana, Windrunner. Those 3 Hunters, usually we tend to have a little bit trouble finding all of them to 2-star in the mid game. And sometimes it's silly to use them at 1-star because they die so quickly. Now with a flat damage buff, With 3 hunters, they do more damage at 1 star, and that's a little bonus for the hunter synergy. The last one we discussed about Sand King. He is going to be great for the beast lineup, great for the warrior beast, great for the druid beast, and great for the assassins. So I'm really keen to test Sand King out as well. So in conclusion, this buff was not major, but the particular counters for elves now is hunters, because at each instance of combination, 3 hunters counters 3 elves, and 6 hunters counters 6 elves. And that's so big because elves right now are so strong. The downside is more people are going to play hunters, and by playing hunters, that means it's going to be more comeback potential for people who play hunters. It's high risk, high reward because this is such a late game build. And if you're interested in more on hunters, I'll attach a description below with a link to show hunter early game and to show a guide for the hunter late game. So again, thank you so much guys for watching. If you want to support me further, please check out my Patreon page. And again, thank you so much guys for liking, subscribing to YouTube, coming over to Twitch to say hi, and just following on Twitch, or any form of support is very much appreciated. Thank you so much guys, and I'll see you guys next time.